Hi, everybody, and welcome to a Virtual Cuppa. I've got my cup with Charlie Sullivan from Walks and Devour Tours. So, hi, Charlie. It's so great to see you again.
Hi, it's lovely to be back. Thank you for having me back.
Oh, no, it's great. Well, usually we talk on the podcast. So, you've done, I think, 3 episodes of the podcast now. I've lost track, Charlie. But I thought what would be really cool is that we can put this on YouTube and people can see what you look like. Because I know some people have been lucky enough when they've gone on a show to meet you kind of accidentally. Because we had some feedback for some very tough guests of Walks in Edinburgh earlier in the year when you happened to be there when they were on the tours. Very excited to meet you, and I have put the message out to the Facebook group to say that I'm going to talk to you as well. So I have got some questions that some of our group members would like me to ask you. But to start us off, give us a little bit about your background and about Walks and Devour Tours.
Sure. So I am the product and operations manager for London and also for Edinburgh, for Walks and Devour. So my role predominantly is to oversee the quality of the tours, make sure operationally everything is running smoothly. So that comes down to sort of ticketing, on the ground operations. And also I deal with a lot of the product development. So any new tours that we have coming out, and obviously looking to see how we can adapt and change any tours that we have currently, to improve them. So Walks Tours, they've been around for nearly 20 years now, and we've grown significantly. We're over 22 destinations now in Europe and North America, with over 600 guides. Can you believe that?
Wow, I feel like I've
It's a
met a lot
lot.
of them, I have to say.
I was going to say you've probably met the majority of them now. We really try and develop sort of the exclusive and beautifully designed tours, and mainly small groups. So we never really go above 20 people in a group. And with walks, we try and get special access into some of the most iconic landmarks and attractions to really give our guests a sense of a unique experience. Um, and we always say the best way to travel is by walking. Exploring the street at street level is the best way to see any city. And every city has a different story to tell. That's what I love about it. Our guides are so passionate, they're storytellers, and they will take you through shortcuts and hidden alleyways, just to give you that experience of the city and how unique and beautiful it is. Devour Tours. Devour Tours are our food tours that we have. Again, we're in around 15, 16 cities now with Devour. And we try to take you into the heart of the local community. So we try and get you to interact with the locals. We try and give money and give input into the local community as well as we do it. We try and share, the guides share their gastronomic experiences with our guests and their love of food. And there's always been a little bit of a reputation with British food. But British food really is a celebration of comfort eating. So a lot of our traditional recipes are all about warmth and sustenance. So that's what we try and bring across in our tours here in London. It's just really how our cuisine has grown. And obviously, we're very multicultural in London. So we have a lot of different choices, not just British cuisine. So we really try and take you into the heart of that as well.
Absolutely. Now, I think I've done most of the tours, most of the Walks tours in London. Love them, and everybody will know how much I love the ceremony of the keys. I can't not start a sentence with that Walks without talking about the ceremony of the keys because I love it. I just feel so privileged to be part of history. You are part of history when you observe that ceremony, and it's amazing. And just having the time with the yeoman warder is so special. It is. I can't emphasize enough to people, if you can do that tour, book that tour, because you will not regret it. It's so special having that access. It really is. And you can ask them anything. So we found out really interesting facts about the Pope and who had bought the new kitten that had got locked in the tower, and all these like great, interesting stories. So I love all the walks tours. I don't think there's any, and I've done many and all over. I've done walks tours in Paris. I've done them in Seville. I've done them in Barcelona, in London. Now I am looking forward to some of the new tours that you've got in Edinburgh. So I'm going to ask you in a minute to give us a quick rundown of what you've got in London going on. But just talk to us about these new tours that we've got in Edinburgh. And can I go on some, please?
You're welcome anytime, you know that. So yeah, we started in Edinburgh back in May, and they're going really, really well for a first season. So we currently have 3 tours running. So we have our very unique experience. We are the only tour company to be offering this, which is it's called the Castle Secrets Tour. And this gives you the opportunity to go inside the castle before it opens to the public, which is just incredible. I've now done this tour a couple of times, which is where I met some of our followers, which was fabulous. It was lovely to see them in person, and for them to say that this is how I booked this tour was through the podcast. But the tour is so unique. You know, you access before anyone else. So it is literally just you inside the castle grounds. You'll access areas that are normally unguided. So normally you won't be able to go in with a guide and get all the information. So you've got St Margaret's Chapel, you can go into the Crown Jewels, and you actually get a private introduction to the Crown Jewels from the guide. And it's just so tranquil up there before the crowds. It's like nothing else I've ever experienced.
I can imagine.
It's just wonderful. So that's an hour and a half tour in the morning. Starts at 8:15. We then have a VIP secrets tour with Edinburgh in a day. So this again is early access prior to it opening to the public. So exactly the same as the previous tour I mentioned. But after the hour and a half, we then rejoin with our local guide. And you get a tour all the way down the Royal Mile to Holyrood Palace. And then you will go into Holyrood Palace with an audio guide, as you're not allowed to guide inside. And the walking tour is about an hour and a half down the Royal Mile, which is a stretch from the top of the castle all the way down to the palace. It's a Scots Mile, it's called. And the guide will take you off into all these little hidden gems, little alleyways, little nooks and crannies that you wouldn't go and find on your own. It's a fabulous tour that really incorporates the royal part of Edinburgh.
I was just gonna, sorry, I interrupted there, Charlie, because I'm just gonna say I'm glad you're doing it that way around, Castle down to Holyrood, and not the other way. You're going downhill. Let me just say to everybody, you're going downhill. This is a downhill stretch.
Yeah, we're definitely downhill. Not going doing the uphill. That's for sure. And then the final tour we have is just a normal Edinburgh in a day. So it is a normal access into the castle. So when it opens to the public, you'll access the Crown Jewels first to try and get ahead of the crowds, work your way down, and then again it's the walk down the Royal Mile and Holyrood Palace. As we know, Holyrood Palace is a working palace, so the royals do come up and stay. Mm-hmm. So there are closures that happen, and on these occasions we offer the groups to go to the Scotch Whisky Experience, which is a fabulous place. You get a taste of 3 different whiskies. You get your own glass at the end, and a real introduction into how Scotch whisky came about and why it's so popular.
Oh, brilliant! So you're getting a taste of Scotland on that one as well.
Exactly.
So I know at the moment you don't have any Devour food tours in Edinburgh. Have you got plans in the future to potentially do that, or is that, I don't know, is that a kind of potential future plan or not?
It is. No, definitely. It is 100% a future plan. I think for 2026, we are remaining with what we have. As it's just a second season, we're going to try and push the tours that we currently have further. And then for 2027, we will see a lot more coming in Edinburgh.
Oh, that's so exciting. Well, I may be in Edinburgh soon. So I shall put my name down, my hand up to go on some of those tours because I can't wait. Now you've actually got some new London tours as well this season that I actually haven't done either. So I'll be hoping to get on some of those if I visit because I love the tours. They're so good. Honestly, if I go to London, the first thing I think about is can I do some of the new Walks tours and experience it because they're so good. They're so popular with my audience. As you say, the small group. So you get that experience of being in a small group. You get to meet other people. I love the guides. I've met some of those wonderful guides through Walks that I still, in fact, one of the Walks guides actually that I met when I was in Seville, we're still in touch on Instagram. So we just
Oh,
loved her. She was so good.
fabulous.
And some of the London the London guides, I talk about Pete all the time. I talk about Sophie all the time. There's just some of them I just absolutely love. They're all brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So let's talk through a couple of what are your most popular tours in London that people kind of want to experience?
So the one of our most popular is our London in a Day, which is our full day tour. It is an 8-hour tour, so we do recommend that you are good at walking. But it really encapsulates the most iconic sites in one day. You'll get to see pretty much everything that's on your bucket list for London. You will see on this tour. So it starts with Westminster Abbey with a fully guided tour. We then head over, and on certain days, you'll see the changing of the guards. This guard change only runs Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and Sundays. All the other days, they will see horse guards change, which is still a lovely, lovely ceremony to watch instead of guard change. You'll have lunch at Trafalgar Square. Then you'll take a river cruise down to the Tower of London and then a guided tour around the Tower of London. So it really just fills your day with everything that you want to tick off a bucket list for you if it's your first time in London, for sure.
I did that last December it was last October with Melissa, actually. It was her first time in London and she visited solo and she asked me to come along for the day and she loved it. We had a lovely time. We did a podcast about it and there's photos that I took of Melissa and I at the Tower of London. It was had a red telephone box and yeah, we had a brilliant time. We really did.
Good. The other one that's popular is just our Tower of London tour. Now there are two, so I know which one's your favourite. But we also have the opening ceremony. So much as we have the VIP, which is the one you love, which is the after hours, so in the evening, we have a morning tour called Complete Tower, which has the opening ceremony. So this is where you will see them you'll go in before the public and you will see them open the gates to the Tower of London. It's a lovely experience, and then you're first in the Crown Jewels, so you have no crowds whatsoever in the Crown Jewels, and then you have a guided tour for about 2 hours around the tower. There are a lot of areas that we're not allowed to guide in the tower. They are very strict on that, and that's due to the size of the areas. But our guides are so passionate about telling the story about each place that you will have all the information you need before you even go into these areas.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's brilliant. And also you can stay there after the guides left as well and explore it. You will for however long you want as well, which also makes it a benefit. You're actually in there, so you might as well explore it and spend a reasonable amount of time. That's another thing I say to people. Don't just think you're going to go to the Tower of London, do a tour and leave, because you'll want to explore it. You'll have learned all that information. You'll want to go and explore a bit more and go and see the ravens and go up into the White Tower. You'll want to go and do all of those things.
Exactly. And this is a great tour to do that. So you also get a ticket to River Cruise as well with this tour, which is a one-way ticket. You can use it any time. It doesn't have to be on the day that you actually do the tour. It could be the next day, a month later, and you still get that to use.
So do you want to know what my secret tip is if you do this tour? Because I also really like this tour. I have done this tour a couple of times. And my secret tip is, because everybody always wants to see the Crown Jewels because they come up all the time. And I go, I've shared video on my Instagram of the queues that the lineup that you can end up with the Crown Jewels. Now, if you'll do this tour, you're straight in to like the VIP walking in and check out the Crown Jewels. But when you go to see the Crown Jewels, there's a travelator and you go round and then you come back round. I've been round that about 7 times. Because you can. Because there's hardly anybody there.
There's nobody there to get in your way.
So I just go round and round and round, and that'll be my secret. Next time I go, they'll be watching out for me, going, "Oh, that's that girl that's been round and round and round." But it's a great chance to go and actually properly see them, because you don't get a chance. You kind of, they move you along, so you do get a chance to get a good view. But honestly, you can go back a few times and like, if there's something that's caught your eye and you're thinking, I'm going to tell my husband I'd really like this for Christmas or my next birthday, that sort of size diamond, then you can really check it out and point it out to him on the next round on the travel later.
I need to remember that myself and take my husband with me.
Now I'm a big fan of afternoon teas, and I know you have an afternoon tea included in a new tour. You knew I was going to mention this one after, because I'm like, oh, afternoon tea.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite tours actually, and it's brand new for this season. And it's the Kensington Palace with guard change and afternoon tea. So we start around near Horse Guards Parade, and we have sort of an introduction into the royal family and the history, and then we get to watch guard change, and then we walk all the way through Hyde Park up to the Diana Memorial Fountain, through Kensington Gardens. You see sites like the Royal Albert Memorial, the Royal Albert Hall, and the Sunken Garden where the Diana statue is. And then we go and have a fabulous afternoon tea at the Orangery at Kensington Palace, which is just stunning. It is beautiful inside. And then you get tickets and entry into Kensington Palace as well with an audio guide. So again, guiding isn't allowed due to the size of the corridors and the rooms, but you gain access with our tour to enter as well.
And I always recommend Kensington Palace to people, because we get asked a lot of times, is it worth going to? And I think it is. You get to see Queen Victoria's doll's house. I mean, come on, like, who doesn't want to see the toys she played with when she was a child? I think it's amazing, absolutely fantastic. So
it really is
well worth visiting.
Oh, 100%. And you really get to understand more about a different side of the royal family, rather than focusing on, Queen Elizabeth and King Charles and Diana and that. You actually get to see the real history behind the royal family. And don't forget the Kensington Gardens, that's where William and Harry used to play as kids. Yeah. So, you really are truly just walking in royal footsteps.
Oh, no, definitely adding that to my itinerary, Charlie. Are there any other walks tours that you want to kind of briefly give a shout out to?
So we have a wonderful morning tower tour. So this is very similar to the complete tower, but without the opening ceremony. So this is just really focusing on the tower itself and the history behind it. And we're actually redeveloping this tour for next year, which I can say, I think. So not only will this include the entry to the tower next year, but we'll also be including a river cruise. So at the moment, the river cruise is just a ticket we hand out for you to use at any time. Whereas next year it will be included in the tour. So you'll have a guided tower, an unguided tower tour in the morning, because it's just getting trickier and trickier to guide in there. You'll get a cruise up the Thames, and then you'll get a guided tour all around Westminster and Buckingham Palace area. So this is kind of a redevelopment that will be happening for next year.
Oh, exciting. Well, I'm going to have to catch up with you in 2026 for all the different tours, I'm sure, because you're always innovating and always improving and always looking at new different tours that you can introduce. So I'm going to turn the topic to one of my favorite things to talk about, which is food. And I want to talk about the Devour food tours, because I still, honestly, I guess everybody knows what I'm going to say at this point. My friend and I, Terry, went on the Taste, Tales and Traditional Ales. I should know it. I talk about it all the time. So Terry and I, whenever I see Terry, we still talk about this tour because we loved it. We absolutely loved it. And you learn that so much of the history of those pubs, it's amazing. Like, you sit where Charles Dickens went and had a drink. You're having a pint where Charles Dickens. I mean, come on. Like, where else are you going to be able to do that? It's fantastic. So you go down all these alleyways, you get to experience all these pubs, you learn the history of it, and the food's really good. And I remember doing a beginning of one of the tours. I think it was the Borough Market one actually, and the guide saying, what is it you think of when you think of British food? And everybody just went beige, beige, beige.
Beige and
Well, at the end of the
boring.
tour, they weren't saying that. They were like, well, yeah, they
Yeah.
were. And I'm like, I'm so glad you've come on this tour, because by the end of it, that's not what you're going to be saying. You're not
Mhm.
going to be thinking beige. They were like, oh, this is amazing. So, but both excellent tours. I've done both the Borough Market, and I know the Borough Market one you've slightly changed since I
Mhm.
did it last, because I think you go over at Leadenhall Market now. Is that right?
Yep. So we've extended it to go over the Thames, over London Bridge into Leadenhall Market, and then we finish with a private wine and cheese tasting.
So, and they obviously the taste tales and traditional ales that continues. That's doing well, and people are enjoying all those tastes and all the tales.
They are indeed. So again, this is one that is going to be redeveloped for next year. So we're keeping sort of the main structure of it, but we're just extending more into the heart of the city of London, rather than sort of heading towards the other way. We're going to start where we are now, and then expand through the city of London, finishing at a fabulous first coffee house in London, which is called Jamaican Wine House. So yeah, it's going to be a longer walk, more stops. So it should hopefully just expand this tour to something even better than it is now.
Oh, perfect. Right, I've got some questions that I want to ask
Mhm.
you actually, because from people in our group. So I'm trying. Hopefully, I haven't dropped them because I've got them written here. But anyway, so first question is from Teresa. So, how big are the tour groups, and how long do they usually last?
So for the walks tours, the maximum tour group size is 20. So even if we have multiple groups running the same tour at the same time, you will only ever be in a group of 20 max. For the food tours, the maximum is 12.
Mm-hmm.
Tour times, running times will change depending on the tour that we're running. So I think our shortest tour is the Buckingham Palace Staterooms, which is just a 2-hour tour. Then we have some that are 4 hours, and then obviously our full London in a day is around 8 hours. Food tours are around 3.5 hour long.
And you leave full. I will just say that if you're planning to do a food tour, don't eat beforehand.
No, you definitely don't need to eat before, or
Definitely don't.
probably don't need dinner after either.
No, you definitely don't. You really don't. We've got a question from Laura.
Yep.
She wants to know how fast paced the tours are, because she uses a cane. So she's interested in, particularly in the Borough Market food tour, but she's asking like, will she be able to manage that? She uses a cane to be able to kind of to keep up with the group.
So I'll focus specifically on the Borough Market one for her. So each walking section between our stops is around 10 to 15 minutes. And the guide will take it slowly. They will stop at every now and then to give you some observations, give you an introduction onto where we're going. So pace-wise with a cane, Borough Market would probably be fine. Just to remind you, there are a hell of a lot of cobbled streets around Borough Market. It's very uneven, and there are some steep steps that we do utilise at some point. Again, if the guide knows in advance, we can adapt the route very slightly to take out the steps. It's not a problem. When it comes to other tours, for example, London in a day, I would not recommend this to anybody with mobility difficulties. It's a lot of walking. It's about 5 miles in the total throughout the day. Other tours aren't so bad because there are areas to sit down, and because you're in the one place, so the Tower of London tours, just the Westminster Abbey tours, you'll find that easy to keep up. But the food tours can be adjusted and made adaptable, and you're sat down at some of the stops as well, so you will get that rest throughout.
Yeah, you get lots of time to sit down and eat and drink.
Exactly, that's the main point.
Exactly. I've got another question from Alison. How far in advance should she look at booking tours?
We have our booking window. We normally have a lot of people booking sort of 30 to 60 days out. But then we also have people who book very last minute. So it depends on how far in advance they really know what they want to book. we do normally have spaces available, and we do open up second or third groups when we see it necessary. I would say at least a month in advance to guarantee a spot. For a VIP ceremony, I would book further than that. I would book at least 2 months in advance for the VIP ceremony, because that one does sell out.
Yeah, it's very popular.
Yeah.
And I had a question from Laura, who was asking that if a tour that she wants to do is sold out, what is the best thing for her to do? Can she be put on a waiting list?
There isn't a waiting list as such, but you can contact guest support, and they will contact operations to see if it's feasible for us to open. The one thing we have to be careful of is with certain areas, like the opening ceremony for the Tower of London, the Abbey, we have a maximum of 20. We can't have any more than that. So if it's just to open one slot for one person for a second group, it probably wouldn't happen. But if you've got a group of 6-7 people that are looking to book, 100% we would look at seeing if we could open a second group for them. But the best way to do it is to contact guest support, see if that is an option. They'll contact us, and then we'll be able to give them a yes/no answer.
Oh, perfect. Now, I've also had a question from Lisa. Is it possible to book a private tour?
We do offer private London in a day and private morning tower tours now.
Oh, okay. And what is there a limited? Is there like a minimum number for those?
6. So it's maximum of 6 people.
Okay.
Yeah. But they're on the websites. They're live. So that's our full London in a day tour and our morning tower tour, which doesn't include the opening ceremony. But those are the 2 private ones we have running at the moment.
And is there a minimum number for those? So it doesn't matter. I guess if it's one person paying for the private tour, they pay for the private tour, don't they? Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Excellent. Well, if you're that one person planning to book a private tour, can I come? Let me know in the comments. I'll join you. Now I've got some questions from Deb. So a couple of questions about the food tours. One is, if you've got any dietary requirements, how does it work on a food tour?
So when you book the food tour, it will normally ask you when you're booking if you have any dietary requirements. Majority of the tours we have, we can accommodate vegetarian. This is not a problem whatsoever. We do make it clear, though, that for certain dietary requirements, i.e. dairy intolerance, gluten-free or lacto intolerance, we can't accommodate. Unfortunately, we don't have the substitute there to offer for these guests. But all we say is put your dietary requirements down. If it always I always go through months in advance to see if we have any dietary requirements. I will then get guide support to flag it and contact the client to see what we can do to help, or if we can substitute or make it work for them.
Oh, perfect. And she's asking one question about, do you have any specific tours that you recommend for the holidays, which I'm guessing is the Christmas period? Now, I will say I did do the Ceremony of the Keys in December. Sorry, a bit obsessed with the Ceremony of the Keys, clearly, but it was really atmospheric. I have to say, it was, because obviously in winter it's dark, so you get in the tower and it's pitch black, and there was only us in there. It's actually a bit spooky. I'm going to sound really northern when I say that, but it's a really spooky and eerie. So that, and also you get the lights because you see Tower Bridge, and that, so it was actually quite a nice, like, festive experience, even though it was the Tower of London. But are there any specific kind of tours that you offer around the kind of that Christmassy kind of time?
So this year's a little bit different. This year we are closing more tours than we did last year. And this was just due to the sales and what we made last year. It didn't work. It's trial and error over the Christmas period. Yeah. We're not running the VIP ceremony this year, which is a shame, I know. But
when does that end? When does that stop, Charlie?
I think we finish at the end of October, maybe November for this year. And then we'll be starting up again in April.
You knew I was going to ask that. So
I knew you were going to ask that one.
I
think because of the dark nights, the cold, it didn't sell the way we wanted it to for the low season. So we just took the initiative and went, okay, that's fine. This year we'll wait till April. We are running the complete tower. So this is the one with the opening ceremony. So this one would be a great one to do throughout December. Again, it would be really festive, similar to the VIP. You'll just get that sort of really festive, unique feeling in the morning. So we're running that one all through December, as well as the morning tower as well. So the other 2 tower tours will be running.
Okay.
And we're also running our London in a Day, so the full tour. Again, this one would be a great one to do during the festive season, because you'll get to go through Trafalgar Square at lunchtime, which is just covered in Christmas markets. So you'll be able to wander through the Christmas markets and really get that feel of what London's like at Christmas.
Oh, lovely. And plenty of places to choose to eat as well when that's going on.
Always hot dogs. The hot dogs are the best at Christmas.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it's been wonderful chatting to you about the tours. I think that was all of the questions that we were asked. So hopefully I've covered everything for the Facebook group. So hi, all our Facebook group. Thanks for asking the questions to Charlie. Yeah, it's always great to chat with you. It's always great to talk about Walks and Devour Tours. As everybody knows, I'm a big fan. Doug is also a big fan. He's been privileged enough as well to have done quite a few of your tours recently. I think we ate our way around Europe, to be honest, which was a lot of fun. So hopefully next year you'll be able to come on and we can get a bit of an update with what's happening with new tours and Devour tours, Walks tours. But wonderful to talk to you, Charlie, as always.
It's been fabulous as always. Thank you, Tracy. And yeah, I can't wait to come back on and give you all the info for next season and see what's happening.